Ha! We're back. Once again, pin this comment. There we go. Woo! Hello, Kiki. Hello, everybody who's back joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, my Sky Level Media family. I will be your host for this evening. My name is Lily, and soon we will be joined by my sister, Miss Shavana Newsom. So once she enters in, we're gonna get this started. But first, I want to know, how's everyone doing? How are you coping with everything that's going on? Are you attending marches, rallies? What are you doing to keep your mental health okay? Let me know. And let me know where you guys are joining us from. I'm in Atlanta, so I just want to know where you guys are tuning in from. Welcome. Hey, Myasia. See you out in the streets putting in work. That's what we need. Yes, please continue to be safe. But what you're doing is so needed. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. If you're just joining, my name is Lily. We're waiting on my sis, Shavana Newsom, to join us soon. Okay, you guys are from Cleveland, Ohio. Cool. Hello, everyone. You know, I had to play some Solange in the back. Her FUBU song is just needed right now, okay? It's needed. To everybody who's just joining, where are you guys joining us from? Where are you tuning in from? I want to know. Let me know. Look at some of these comments. I see you guys waving. Hello. Hello, Miss Ebony. Atlanta finest. Kia Jackson. Hello to everyone who is just joining us. If you're not familiar with my face, my name is Lily, so I will be your host this evening, and we're just waiting on our good sis, Shavana Newsom, to join us, and we're gonna get into it soon. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me know where you're joining us from, where you're tuning in from. And if you have been attending the marches and the rallies, what has that been like? Hello, Imani. Let's hope she joins us soon. Hello, I see all you guys waving. Hi. Alrighty, she has entered the Sky Lounge. So once she sends this request, we're gonna get it started. There we go. All right, you guys know what's connecting. There she is.
Hi, how are you guys? How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh my God, it's been a whirlwind. I'm in the car. I just finished my last food delivery.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes. Go ahead. Get comfortable. Get it set up. We're waiting on you, Mama.
I'm here. Sorry, it's a lot happening.
I already know. It's okay. But look, before we get into it, let me go ahead and let everyone know. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and welcome to the Next Level Podcast.
You gotta get the cigar.
Oh, you're fine. And for those who aren't familiar, this is our IG Live edition where we have exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities and also those who are making an impact in our community. And so today we have a very, very special edition. Of course, there's a lot going on in the world today, and we want to make sure that everyone is equipped and staying safe during these times. And today we have joining us our beautiful sister, Miss Shavana Newsom. And
Thank you.
Yes, for those who aren't familiar, Ms. Newsom is co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, also Democrat candidate for Congress, New York 15, and you can also catch her on Cop Watch America, which is streaming on BET. So, as someone who is at the forefront and who is moving and pushing this movement, how are you? How is your mental health? How are you coping?
I did an interview yesterday, right? It was, they wanted me to walk them through Friday. That's the day I went out to Minneapolis, and that was the first time I actually processed everything that's happened in the last 5 days. I have barely slept between protesting, fighting for justice. We have the People's Food Program. I just finished up my last delivery, and then someone, you've seen on the news with the looting and stuff like that. One of our members, his neighborhood was vandalized. So I'm actually, when I rap with you, I'm going to go clean like spray paint off the walls. So
Wow.
we're just in the street. I do interviews now from the truck in
Mhm.
between servicing and working for my community. And I'm just serving, because right now we are in a revolution. So as tired or exhausted as I may feel, I feel like we are on the verge of liberation for our people. So
Right.
I can't stop. Like, I'll sleep when I get some legislation passed that doesn't allow cops to murder us. I get an economic justice plan. I'll take a rest then. But for now, I'm just grateful to be serving the community.
That's beautiful. And as you said, I know that you were out in Minneapolis. You were able to be in those marches and with the protesters. And can you walk us through your thoughts and emotions when you did make it to that very spot that our dear brother George Floyd unfortunately lost his life? Because, you know, the media tends to portray negative and disturbing images, but what was it like from your point of view?
So when we got out there, because we roll like 10 deep and we are all decked out in our BLM gear, we have bullhorns and signage. So we feel like we were walking towards the A team, like fighting for justice. And then you step upon the ground where a man lost his life. And you see the flowers and you see the makeshift memorials and artwork had already went up. So I had to stop and just pray for his soul. And there was a lot of praying going out from people from different walks of life. I think we arrived there in Minneapolis about like 12. So we got to where brother Floyd lost his life, I would like to say around like 1. So it was daytime and we're praying. There was a circle. But the love, it was so much love. Yes, we're hurting. Yes, we were mourning, but the love there was just incredible. It was people cleaning up behind the protesters. It was I'm gonna keep it 100. It was people barbecuing. They were giving out granola bars and prayers, and I said a few words on the microphone. And our member, who is a member of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, Nick Cannon, he joined us out there. So
Uh-oh.
Nick
Yeah.
Cannon was actually on the ground with us out in New York. I'm sorry, out in Minneapolis. So he spoke. The community was happy to see him. And then we went back to the hotel and just to change, because we hadn't taken a flight. And that's when it was real. That's when the fires were blazing. That's when all the anger and outrage was happening. Tear gas being thrown at us. And just for what the media is seeing, yes, there's a small number of looting and stuff. But what I seen on the ground in Minneapolis was that it seemed like white supremacists and government forces were at play, because yes, tear gas was thrown at us, but there was also tear gas coming from the crowd. And those fires seemed pretty consistent, where every place building there was a fire, the back door was kind of open. And these weren't mass fires. You'd be walking and protesting, and then you turn around and a building would be on fire. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a collaborative effort. It just seemed like someone and people trying to make what we were out there doing look raggedy. And then so this was the tough part, because this is like straight out of a movie. So we wake up, we get home like about 3 o'clock, and this is after having guns drawn on us. Armed forces were out there. We had turned a corner, and a team of, like, I assume they were SWAT, because there were snipers on top of the buildings. They were like, stop, freeze, drop to the ground. And we knew that if we had dropped to the ground, we were never going to get back up again.
Yeah.
So our group decided to run, and run for our lives. Like, we literally had to run for our lives out there. I'm talking about buildings were burning to next to bridges where it looked like bridges were on fire, a firing squad. There were people driving trucks through the crowd who clearly were not allies. So we get back, the whole team is distraught. You see it in everyone's face. Like, Hawk, who is my brother and also the co-founder, we have to put on these brave faces. I'm like, okay, in the morning, we're going to do breakfast. We're going to do a little kumbaya check-in. And we're watching CNN. And they're like, tell us where the outside organizers are. What are their hotel rooms? What cars are they in? So we were literally had to leave our hotel and cut our trip short because it was quite possible we were going to be charged as domestic terrorists.
Right.
So we went like an hour away. And when all this was happening, Hawk's face comes out on the cover of the New York Times with the words chaos over it on Saturday's time. So it's like, okay, our whole team is wanted. So we
Right.
switch our flights around, and then we see what the NYPD is doing at home. Because we're based in New York, we see that the NYPD has mowed people down with PT cruisers, and our friends are out there, and New York's going crazy. So we touched back down in New York. I was only in St. Louis, I want to say under 48 hours. Not St. Louis, my apologies, Minneapolis, under 48 hours. And we protested here. I led a group of about 1,000 people through the city, and I'm proud to say, even with being boxed in with mopeds and police bikes and helicopters above head, nobody out of that 1,000 was hurt or arrested. And we have just been leading actions and trying to get legislation passed since then.
Right.
It's been a whirlwind. And when I thought about it, though, I was like, wow, it's only been 5 days.
Right.
It seems like the world has not stopped moving
Right.
since Brother Floyd lost his life.
Mm-hmm. So true. And speaking on that, as an organizer, activist, and Democratic candidate for Congress, how long do you think that these protests and rallies are going to last? Like, how many killings, how many shirts with our slogans and our brothers and sisters quotes and, just pictures? How much does it take for the country and for the justice system to realize enough is enough?
Well, I feel like with our justice system and what's happening is, I feel as though as long as we keep applying pressure, as long as we're on the ground every single night, you see it changing. I think last word I got today was the other 3 officers who murdered Floyd are going to be charged.
Right. Right.
Laws are coming into place. We have spoken with governors, people who are seeking higher office, and it's looking like we may get some policies drafted. What BLM Greater New York is doing on Sunday is we are having a Times Square rally at 12 p.m. for your New York followers, and we are releasing something called the Black Agenda. This is where we want real policy. We are being tired of we're tired of the hashtags. We're tired of being told to wait, because nothing's ever going to come of that. So we know that you and I wouldn't have the right to vote. We wouldn't have the right to do anything. We wouldn't even be free if it wasn't for a law and something being signed. So right now we are pushing for legislation, and hopefully that goes well. Here in New York, Governor Cuomo is trying to be progressive, and he's already looking into special prosecutors in cases of this nature. And he's kind of kept his word as we worked with him to get 38,000 voters, convicted felons, their voting rights. Mm-hmm. So we are hopeful, but people should not stop protesting, because if everyone goes home and they stop talking about it, we'll be waiting until the next hashtag comes. So everyone who's out there on the front lines, or who's retweeting and hashtagging from home, who's donating money to organizations who do what we do, thank you. Because if it was not for you, we would not be on the verge of a revolution, because this is more than a rally. We are on the verge of a revolution.
Amen. So true. And, being on the forefront and leading these protests and these marches, you're head to head with our police force. So if you could leave a message to the police force around America who do pose a threat for protesters and sometimes agitate these peaceful situations, what would that message to the police force be?
We're not backing down. We're not afraid of you. The time is now. You organized people defeat organized power. What the NYPD, especially, and other police forces thrived off is fear, and clearly the people are no longer afraid. Because if we can die crossing the street, if we can die on a corner, if we can die in our homes, and like we think about the Breonna Taylors, if we could die after a routine traffic stop, at least we are willing to die for our liberation, and we have nothing to lose but our chains.
Amen. Yes, so true. And I got to say shout out to Rihanna, because she's one of the
Pull
few
up.
stepping up and using her platform to support and bring awareness to the cause of Black Lives Matter New
Yes.
York. And I know in times like these, we can sometimes get discouraged. So explain why acts of support from celebrities is so important and pivotal right now.
It's just important because the difference between a celebrity and a corporation is Rihanna hasn't even asked for a picture of us. Nick Cannon has been supporting us for maybe 4 years. Like, he's been there when we've needed him, and he never wanted a kudo. He never wanted anything more than like a t-shirt. Like, I kid you not. So we don't owe anybody. We don't have to dilute our message. And it's important for Black people to support Black people, for the world to see Black celebrities and Black people who are influenced, because Rihanna's philanthropy is just insane. Like, she's
Right.
giving ventilators, she's giving money to everything. And from what I've heard, I've never met her personally, can't wait to meet her, but
Yes.
she's one of the hardest working women ever. She works like we work. She doesn't sleep and doesn't get tired. And I think we need to see Black people supporting their own people. And I'm very grateful to people like her and Nick Cannon.
Yes, and staying on the topic of Black people supporting Black people, I have a lot of friends here in Atlanta who are so talented when it comes to photography and videography and things of that nature. So can you briefly talk about the power of photography and the importance of having our brothers and sisters who are skilled in capturing true and real images versus the mainstream media who tend to display their hidden agenda of corrupting the masses with continued false narratives and stereotypes?
I like to call these brothers and sisters you refer to as artivists, meaning they use
Come
their
on.
art to do activism. So
Yeah.
if it were not for her, like, think about my most powerful pictures, or like any of them. You think back to our leaders like Angela Davis and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. We need them like that. We need them in time. We need real video. We need to capture these Time magazine worthy pictures. We need them to know the truth. Like last night, like 5,000 protesters were held on the Manhattan Bridge, and the media was showing nothing about it because I'm like a news junkie. All I do is watch the news and read the news in between the goings about of my day. But artists captured it, and they just need to keep doing it. And you know what? Tell them they need to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Because
Come on.
yes, please get paid for it. If you are giving your image to AP or any of these big major outlets, yeah, cut a check. Because when I
Right.
want to use my own image, I won't even go into detail how much these places want to charge me to use my own image that the photographer took. Yeah, Black people, get paid. Like, get
Right.
paid. Know your worth. Tell them to cut a check, and yeah, to break you off some royalties as well when you're out here doing the work. That's important.
Period. I'm so
Period,
so
bro.
so here for it. So here for it. So can you tell us what we as citizens, what we can do to help hold our elective officials responsible once they are in office, especially on the local level? I know it's very important for you as well. Like what can we do?
Running for Congress has been difficult. My district that I'm running in has never been ran, like, a Black woman has never held this seat ever in New
Wow.
York City history. So my win on June 23rd will be historic. And I tell people when I'm out there, claiming it,
Yes, we
gotta
claiming it.
claim
We're
it.
claiming it. Yes.
What you have to do is, and I tell people this when I'm out here campaigning, I literally ride around. This truck has like BLM t-shirts behind me, campaign buttons. It's everything is in this truck. If I get there and I sell out and I stop being the voice of the people and it look like I was bought, right? Vote me out. And that's what we can do. And I would encourage more Black community leaders to run for office, because most of the things happen. As much as we hate Donald Trump, I was one of the first people to organize and hold rallies around the nation for his impeachment. But it starts on a local level. It's like your city, state, federal government, like your United States congressperson, your governors, all these people, they're the ones who really affect your daily life. Like, it affects your school district. It affects if your streets get cleaned. Harass them, call them. If they don't respond, vote them out. And back your own candidates. Like, what we're doing here at Black Lives Matter Greater New York is we also have a political arm called Black Lives Caucus, where we back candidates who have our agenda. Now, this is also a reason why I decided to run, because we have backed some pretty prominent people who've gone on to be famous, and then they never wanted to make a statement. They didn't want to be considered anti-pop. They bought into the establishment. So we are trying to bill out our members to start their own slates for city council, for mayor, because we know if we have people who represent us and support our ideas and beliefs, we know that we'll have real justice. Like, until we'll never have real justice until we have real power is one of my personal quotes. So
Yeah.
as long as we keep having to ask and beg, things are going to stay the same. That's why this revolution is happening right now. And I feel like George Ford was a martyr and like he gave his life for revolution. I feel like we're going to have real legislative change, and that's what we need.
Mhm.
No lip service. I'm not sure if you heard me. We need real legislation.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Amen. I'm so here for it. We definitely got to vote. And, I was sitting here thinking, and from your point of view, what is the plan moving forward when, let's say, July 4th is around the corner and the world has now turned its focus towards grilling and fireworks and celebrating a culture that has oppressed our people for 400 years? How can we make sure that this time around is different from the other times?
Well, I personally don't celebrate July 4th. I'm more of a Juneteenth type of a girl. But
Hello. Yeah.
what
Yes.
what we need to do is we can't get tired. And I think the sad thing about COVID is, right, it's terrible. A lot of people have lost their lives. But I feel like it's like pulled the wool from everyone's eyes. We really saw firsthand what the racial disparities have done. We got to see, sadly, our brother George Floyd die. So it's just like we can't take enough. Like, we're dying if we do everything right. I'm just happy by Generation X, because I'm a millennial. Generation X, how woke they are. What this girl I gave a protest with, she actually organized it the other night, and she was like 17, and she was like baby Angela Davis. And to see so many young people who don't even have the power to vote politically engaged, I just don't think that we can slack up. Like, we can't cool out, we can't fall back. We just have to keep applying the heat until we get our demands. And as I said earlier, Black Lives Matter Greater New York, we are giving demands. We're releasing them Sunday. This is going to go national. And if politicians don't want to get on board with this, how can we possibly vote for them in good faith and in good conscience?
Right. So true. So before I let you go, I know for me, I have a lot of beautiful, educated, inspired, just motivated, beautiful Black men in my life, as a lot of us do. And I know a lot of them right now, from speaking to them and them venting, they're trying to figure out their emotions. They're trying to figure out how to move in society day to day. So if you could give them one, just one message of encouragement right now, what would that be?
First, I love you, like Black men. I just want you to know you are loved. Now has a curfew, so that just interrupted. We can't go out past 8, but no one's listening to that. Sorry, that's about life. So back to Black men. I love you, and I think that you're beautiful, and it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel afraid. You don't have to walk around and be strong all the time. But I want you to know why they're trying to tear you down, why they're afraid of you, because you have this immense amount of power. You are king-like. You are strong. You're the best athletes. You're the best scientists, the best inventors. You're Black men are magic. And that's why white supremacy wants to tear you down. But don't let them, because you're beautiful and you're king.
Amen. You know what? Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you're doing. We're here to
Thank you.
support you. For those who are in New York and can vote for Miss Newsom, please go out and vote. And even in your own cities, make sure you guys vote. We need to make a change. So we support you. We love you. We thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep up the good work and be safe, please.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, and God
Yes.
bless. I appreciate what you do. Thank you for allowing me to use your platform, and keep being amazing. Black girl
Thank
magic all day,
Yes.
every day. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye, Queen. Thank you.
Bye. No problem. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. This has been lovely. We're going to continue to do this for the rest of the evening. So make sure you guys tune in at 7:30 with my sis, Miss Bonnie, because she will be speaking to attorney Joshua Benjamin. And, we're just going to keep this going. So, yeah, we appreciate it. We love you all. We thank you. And stay around 7:30. And I'll see you guys next week. All right. Goodbye.